Hello, and welcome to another FMOD tutorial. In this video, we're going to look at getting FMOD integrated into an Unreal project. We'll be doing this at a project level rather than directly into the engine itself, as this keeps things focused on the project that you're actually working on and means the integration process doesn't affect any other projects you might have. Then once we've got FMOD integrated, we'll test things are working correctly by triggering a simple event to play. For the purposes of this video, we'll be creating a new Unreal project to demo the integration process. But if you're integrating FMOD into an existing project, then you can obviously skip this step. The rest of the process will be the same. We'll open the Epic Games launcher, switch to the Unreal Engine section, and the Library tab. From here, we'll launch Unreal 5.5.1, and then when it's opened, we'll switch to the Games tab, and select First Person, but you could use any of the game types. Leave all the other settings as their defaults, give our project a name, FMOD_integration, and then click Create. Once Unreal has created the project, we need to close it down for now, as the engine will only recognise the plugin integration as it's initialised. The next step is to go and download the correct FMOD integration. If we go to fmod.com/download and expand the FMOD for Unreal menu, we can access all of the different integrations for the various versions of FMOD. I'm using the latest version of FMOD, which is version 2.03.05, which as we can see supports all the different versions of Unreal 5. And as I'm using Unreal 5.5.1 on a Windows machine, I'll need to use the correct download link for this setup. If you're using different versions of FMOD or Unreal, then you'll need to make sure that you use the correct plugin to match your versions, but the process should be the same. When the download is finished, open the zip file, and you'll see two folders and a README. The README contains the link to the FMOD Unreal integration documentation, which you can check out if you want. The FMOD Studio folder contains the main FMOD plugin for Unreal, and the FMOD Studio Niagara folder contains some specific functionality for using FMOD in conjunction with Unreal's Niagara VFX system. You can install FMOD directly into the Unreal Engine by putting the folders from the zip file into the relevant engine version's engine/plugin folder. But this means that FMOD would be integrated into every project that you create with that version of Unreal, which may not be desirable while working on multiple projects. As outlined earlier, we're going to integrate FMOD into a specific Unreal project. To do this, all we have to do is extract the two folders from the zip file to a plugins folder within our project's folder structure. So, in Explorer, we'll navigate to our project, create a new folder, and call this Plugins. And then we can simply extract our FMOD plugin folders into this new folder. Once you've done this, you can launch your Unreal project, and if we click on the Help menu, we can see that the FMOD integration has been successful, as there are a set of FMOD related options. For example, the Validate FMOD option, which is a super handy little tool for finding and fixing common issues as well as automatically setting up your FMOD project. You may get a pop-up saying that problems were detected with the FMOD settings. If you do, you can click the Settings button. This will open the Plugins FMOD Studio settings page, and the issues will be shown in red at the top. These all relate to packaging settings, which would only be a problem if you were to try to build and package your project for release. All you need to do is to click the Fix button, and the FMOD integration will automatically resolve the issues. Now we need to create an FMOD project and set this up to populate its banks to the correct location for our Unreal project. So launch FMOD and either select an existing project, or as I'm doing, create a new project. We could use the Validate FMOD option within Unreal to configure our banks, but I think it's useful to know how to do this manually, so that's what we're going to do. In your project, go to Edit, Preferences, and switch to the Build tab. Use the Browse button to navigate to the content folder within your Unreal project, and then create a new folder called FMOD. With this folder selected, use the Select Folder button to set the Built Banks output directory. Now, when we build our banks within FMOD, they'll be built within our Unreal project's content structure and so will be accessible within Unreal. We'll create a new event, add an action sheet, and then drag in a sound to create a simple ambient style event that we can use for testing purposes. Now we've got our event in place, we need to assign it to a bank so that FMOD will build it out for use within Unreal. Every FMOD project comes with a master bank already set up, but it's good practice to set up your own banks instead. Depending on the nature of your project, you could have one large bank that contains all of your events, or you could split things up by the nature of the events you're creating. For example, we've just created a basic ambience event, so let's right-click the event, go to Assign to Bank, and then choose New Bank and create a new bank called Ambience. Once we've done that, the next time we want to add to that bank, it will be available in the Browse option. The next step is to build our bank so that the event is available for use within our Unreal project. So go to File, Build, to build the project's banks within the Unreal Projects FMOD folder that we just created. Now we can check that our banks have built correctly within our Unreal project by opening the content browser and navigating to our FMOD folder. We can see a set of folders, and if we move into the Events folder, we can see the event we created within FMOD. We can double check that things have worked properly by right-clicking the event and using the Play command to preview the event. And then the Stop command to stop the playback. The final test is to drag our event into the level to create an FMOD ambient sound actor, and then play the level to hear our ambience playing back. To recap, we've covered how to integrate the FMOD plugin within an Unreal project, set the build location for our banks within FMOD, and verify that our events have been built out successfully. See you in the next video.